Belief can sit inside someone and change nothing in their behavior. When it surfaces in a sentence or a causal remark, in that case, something does change. Today's object is that gap, model exposure. The internal model becomes visible, conduct stays polite, yet the room updates. So let's start with a situation. You're at lunch with colleagues or friends or a mixed group, half familiar, half new. Conversation is light. Someone mentions dating, relationships, you share stories, and a man says in a relaxed tone, almost like he's stating whether women are more emotional than men. No insult, no aggression, no follow up rant. Keeps eating, he's normal, courteous, treats women with respect, opens doors, listens, doesn't interrupt. So, in the narrow sense, nothing happened. No one got harmed, no one got blocked from speaking, no policy changed, no action followed. Yet, something in the social field tightened. A shift, if I may say so. Someone raises eyebrows, someone glances sideways, someone goes quiet. And the man may even think, why the reaction? I'm still decent, I'm still respectful. It might be a puzzle for him, because his claim did not directly alter his behavior, yet it altered how he is seen. So the first precision move is scope. Material impact needs splitting. One category is direct outcomes, actions, treatment, fairness, behavioral consequences. Another category is coordination outcomes, trust, closeness, opportunity, credibility, friction. Who gets invited? Who gets avoided? Who gets listened to? A belief can be quiet in the first and loud in the second. So the question becomes, what mechanisms connect a surface belief to coordination outcomes, even when behavior stays clean? Four mechanisms carry most of it. The first mechanism is expressive signaling. So let's go back to the lunch table. A belief is voiced. Everyone hears it. Now that sentence is information. It is not information about women. It is information about the speaker. People often treat stated beliefs as signals of type, a cognitive fingerprint, one may say. The listener's update rule is simple. People who say this belief out loud often cluster with other beliefs. Those clusters often predict certain dispositions. Those dispositions sometimes produce edge case unfairness. So the listener does a Bayesian move, even if they never name it. They update the prior on what the speaker is likely to do in ambiguous situations. This is coordination logic. It's pattern inference. It can be crude, it can be unfair, it can also be instrumentally rational in social life, because choices are made under limited data. You do not get full dossiers on people. You get fragments, signals, micro-evidence. So a voiced belief is treated like one of those fragments. It changes reputational position without any observed harm, because reputation tracks predicted future behavior, not only past behavior. The second mechanism is epistemic hygiene inference. So let's take the same scene. Different question arises in the listener. What does this reveal about his generalization habits? Does he generalize from a small sample? Does he treat social categories as stable essences? Does he compress variation into slogans? Does he confuse statistical claims with normative implications? This matters, even outside gender. If someone forms loose generalizations here, people suspect the same in other domains: work judgments, risk decisions, interpersonal interpretation. So credibility becomes cross domain. Notice the shift. We are no longer judging his morality, we're judging his inference standards. And that produces a social consequence. Who gets trusted with analysis? Who gets trusted with sensitive interpretation? Who gets trusted to be precise when stakes are unclear? And the third mechanism is latent decision thresholds. This one needs an ordinary case too. Imagine the man manages a team. Two employees conflict. One woman, one man. Both claim the other is being difficult. Both present plausible stories. Evidence is mixed. The manager must interpret. Here, beliefs become tie-break rules, not in the obvious way, where he says, I believe women are emotional, therefore she's wrong. No. In subtle ways. He may read the woman's intensity as emotional volatility. He may read the man's intensity as assertiveness. He may interpret the same tone through different templates. This is the edge case domain. Beliefs influence discretion, not basic politeness. Most people are decent in normal conditions. Discrimination shows up in conditions requiring interpretive power. That's why listeners update even when they've seen no misconduct. They are forecasting how discretion will be used when the situation becomes ambiguous, pressured, or socially costly. The fourth mechanism is norm setting in the room. So back to lunch. A belief gets said. Now the room faces a coordination moment. What is acceptable here? What gets challenged? What gets laughed off? What gets ignored? Even silence is a social signal. If nobody responds, the ambient norm shifts towards this is sayable. If someone challenges it, the ambient norm shifts towards precision required. If people laugh, the ambient norm shifts again towards we bond over this. So the belief does not remain inside the speaker. It becomes a test object for the group. That changes the environment. And environments matter because they shape who feels safe, who feels respected, who feels watched, and who chooses to participate. So again, behavior can be clean at the individual level, and the environment can still degrade through repeated signals that implies hierarchy, essentialism, or sloppy generalization. So we have four: belief as signal of cognitive type, belief as evidence of inference standards, belief as a predictor of tie-break behavior, belief as norm-setting event that shifts a room's equilibrium. So what do these four actually show? A belief can be behaviorally quiet and socially loud. A man can say, I didn't do anything. At the action layer, that can be true. At the coordination layer, something did happen. A disclosure occurred. Observers updated, the room shifted, and the material change is located in our minds. Social reality is not only what you do, it is also what others expect you will do, how they allocate trust, distribute access, interpret ambiguity, set norms around your presence. So is perception the whole story? Is that it? just a reputational shift? I believe it connects outward. It branches into credibility, discretion, into norm setting, into coordination. So perception is not isolated, it's a hub. A belief moves through that hub, and then the room moves. Perception update contains several distinct sub-updates. A reputational update, an epistemic credibility update, a discretion risk update, and a norm equilibrium update. Each can occur without any direct harm. People often treat these updates as moral verdicts. Bad person, misogynist, unsafe. That's a separate layer. Someone can think, I don't want to work closely with this person, while also thinking he might be decent. Someone can think, I will be cautious, without thinking he's evil. Those are different social operations. This is where many arguments start to distort. For example, someone says, I've worked with him for years. He never treated anyone badly. Why are you judging him over one sentence? Another person can say, it's not just a sentence. That belief tells you how he sees women. So one side claims your update is unfair. The other side claims your belief is harmful. And both are talking past each other. Because one is tracking probabilistic coordination, and the other is tracking normative status. And now for the open frame. When is it reputational updating? When is it rational calibration? And when is it overreach? What evidence should justify it? If a person voices a sloppy generalization once, does that warrant a stable identity label? The person holds a belief privately and never signals it. Does social life lose a key calibration input? If we punish disclosure, do we force beliefs underground, making calibration harder? If we normalize disclosure without precision demands, do we degrade environments for those targeted by the generalizations? In my mind, those are real problems. They live inside social epistemology. They live inside how we manage trust and risk. And the uncomfortable truth, at least for me, is that social groups continually do imperfect inference because they must. So the question becomes, what norms of speech produce the best balance between calibration, precision, and human dignity in ordinary life?